So I'm here today with Cole, and he is driving this very unique car. Can you tell us a little bit about this car?
1987 Nissan R31 GTS.
Yeah, you don't see many of these on the road.
I've probably seen about 3 of them in Okinawa so far.
Yeah, even back in the States, right? Like,
oh, there's maybe 2 in the States that I know of.
I'm guessing the R32s and 3s and 4s, 5s, you know, they're a lot more popular in that sense, but this one, like, even for me, is pretty rare.
No, this one definitely gets overshadowed. When Nissan was building this car, they had already started on the R32.
Gotcha.
So a lot of the systems that they put in here, like the Hi-Cast, the Active Aero, the RB series, like that was already going into the 32s.
Gotcha.
So this one didn't have much show time on the street. So I got this in October of 2025. There was an older gentleman that owned it.
Right.
And yeah, I just got really lucky picking this one up.
And yeah, it's very clean, very nice,
I'm trying to
almost
keep her,
mint condition, yeah?
I'm trying to keep it as original as possible.
Right. What initially inspired you to like get this car, you know, in particular? Like, were you like a fan of like JDM cars or Skylines in general and you happened to get this, or something else?
I actually grew up in a big Ford family, so like Mustangs, pickup trucks, stuff like that.
Of course, yeah.
But of course, you know, like stuff like Fast and Furious comes by, or my uncle had some like VHS tapes of Japanese drifting and racing videos, like the Group A touring racing and whatnot. And then also like Australia touring championships, they do a lot, especially with the R31s. But yeah, I was super young, and this has always been a dream car of mine. So when I finally came here to Japan, I immediately set out to look for one of these, and luckily I get to own one now. Okay,
so you already had kind of that influence, and when you came to Japan, you kind of already knew that this is the one that you're looking for. You went about to try to get it right away, and you were lucky that you were able to find it right away in this good condition.
Yeah, for sure.
And what were like the main things that like brought you to like this model, you know? Like we mentioned before, the 32s and 33s, you know, they're a lot more popular, especially back in the States, and maybe even more readily available. But what made you get the 31?
Just being so overshadowed, and I'm really into old stuff like 60s Mustangs and all that.
Okay.
And I just love the boxy style of the 80s cars. No shame to them. I'm not a huge fan of the 32s, 33s, kind of the 34s. They're just too round for me.
Okay.
But then once I did more research on them and found them, it's like one of the first production vehicles to have Active Aero on it, the Hi-Cast rear system, the first Nissans and like the GTR series to have the RB engines in them.
Okay.
Just all around super cool car. And of course, not a lot of people really pay much attention to them, so really cool to have something that not a lot of people really know about.
Maybe underrated, but definitely unique if you have one of these, right?
Right.
Give me like 2 or 3 things that are your top that you love about this car.
I mean, Active Aero for sure. Definitely coolest part about the car.
Yeah.
Being a 1986 and having that from factory, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even get that in like nowadays.
No. The car did come with these Volk racing wheels. They're not the stock wheels from the factory. Just the interior. When the car got here, when it rolled off the truck from being imported, it just clocked over 12,000 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
So I think I'm at like 15,700 right now, just doing a couple cruises around, some car shows, and obviously it's my daily now. So
but still at 12,000, that's so low.
That's nothing for a 40-year-old car.
Yeah, right. Last but not least, do you have like advice, let's say, for someone that's, you know, kind of like looking for something unique?
Do your research. Figure out exactly what car you want, especially trims. A lot of the lower trim models didn't have the Active Aero. They may not have even had the RBs in them.
Gotcha.
And like, again, with research, figure out as much as you can about the car that you want to buy. If you have one that you find online, don't just buy one that's kind of like, you know, 50-50. This might be a good one, or it might have some issues. Like I just kept bothering them to send me pictures of the underside of the car, because I wanted to make sure the frame wasn't rotted or like the seats or anything wasn't original. I wanted as original as I could possibly find. And this is a pretty good example, I think. This will be with me for my entire life. I know that. So I was definitely willing to pay the little extra money to make sure the research was all done correct, make sure I was getting the exact one I wanted, and make sure I had a good car that came to me and didn't have a bunch of work to do.
Have you done anything to it or have kind of like future plans to it while in the spirit of keeping it kind of clean and stock?
Right. I have swapped out the shifter knob and the steering wheel.
Okay.
Main things is just preservation. I'm just keeping them in a box, and I want to keep them as good condition as possible. And with it being such a new car, the gearbox is actually a little tight for my liking. So I got a little taller shifter to just kind of help with that. I might get a sound system in it.
Okay.
And then probably a second set of wheels. Just something to, you know, have something for show wheels and something just for cruising wheels, so I don't mess these ones up as bad.
Yeah.